Hello, hello, and welcome to my return video. I'm back. I'm back after a long ah, I'm back after a long absence. There I am on the screen looking at myself. Hello. How are you? I hope you are well. Today I want to talk about what do I want to talk about today? Today I want to talk about nothing in particular. No thing. Formlessness. I'm not sure if you can hear the lawnmower. I'm gonna wait a sec while it goes by. Okay. So, if any of y'all been following along, I mean, there's a lot that I could talk about. Updates. The road trip vlogs are still on the way. Lots of delays. There's lots of delays. They're still coming. Okay, the lawnmower. Okay. Okay. So I want to talk about how those of you who may have seen, there is required viewing for this video to make sense, which is the recent conversation that Matthew Peugeot had about formlessness. Okay, so watch that and then come back. Please come back. Okay. Okay.
That also it can help me maybe to show what I'm talking about, because there's already something out there that talks about similar things. But yeah, Adam, Eve, the snake is what I talk about. Mostly about how to differentiate Eve and the snake. And actually, this is the difference between Eve and the snake. For example, the way Eve is represented is the Grail, among other things, at the temple in the Ark of the Covenant. So the Ark of the Covenant does represent Eve, or Mary, something like that, okay? So the Grail, what is it? It's something that has a fluid. That's the formlessness. So the cup is a container. It's a solid container. That's part of form. The cup is part of form. But it has in it fluidity. So it has the influence of formlessness contained. It's contained. It has limits to it. It's not just like a flood. It is contained formlessness. And the Grail serves form. That's the thing. It serves Adam, let's say. He's not trying to drown Adam in the water that's in the, it's in the cup there. It's not trying to kill him. It's not trying to. Could wash him with it, maybe. That's the limit of it, let's say. But, okay. And so the snake is represented usually by something like a ring, a circle. You might find this interesting if you're interested in the symbolism of Lord of the Rings. I can tell you what that means, the ring. The ring is about the powers of death and darkness. So it's about using the powers of death and darkness to gain power. That's what it is. What's the difference between the Grail and the Ark of the Covenant? One of them, this is really important, one of them has a box, okay, it's a container, and in it is the law. So this box protects the law. And the top of the ark has the cherub Okay, the cherub are hybrids, right? They're like hybrids. So they represent formlessness, actually. Formlessness as a support. It's like the water, let's say, that would be in the cup. It's like the water. It's the part that is formless, and that brings renewal. But it's the combination. The ark is the combination of these two things. And so we see the difference right there. So the box is like the cup, right? If we compare it to the grail, the box, that's the cup. It protects the law. It doesn't break the law. It doesn't contradict the law. So the Ark of the Covenant is like the grail. It is a container that brings renewal, has influence of formlessness, which is the cherubim, okay? But this formlessness and this renewal process does not contradict or destroy the law, because the law of Moses is the law of form. It's the law of property. It's like, do not steal, do not serve another god, do not covet, do not, all these rules that protect property, really, that they protect form. Even when it says do not worship other gods, it's protecting a form. It's protecting, you are like the property of God, and it's saying you will not serve another master. So stealing is actually a big deal. It means you do not respect something really fundamental about reality, which is the separation of beings into different forms.
Welcome back. Now, the Ring of Power. As you may know, I am one of these heretical people who thinks that we can use the Ring of Power for good. I'm doing it right now. Can you tell? I'm using my language. My it's like writing. Surely most people, I'm not disagreeing with Matthew Pajot, okay, but there is some nuance where, okay, so like when he talks about the okay, so the New Jerusalem,
the box,
and the Ark of the Covenant, and the Grail, all these things are connected, right? Can we see this pattern? Can we see this pattern, people? We gotta wake the fuck up to this pattern. Okay, so the technical knowledge of formlessness. Fuck, I wish it's so close. I'm getting very close. A lawnmower. Getting very close to articulating that which I've been trying to articulate for a decade. I've been speaking about this for a decade, almost a third of my life. Okay, so the eventuation of, this return, I can't even, it's all so beautiful and it all fits together and it's just marvelous. So the garments of skin are the death, right? It's the formlessness, garments of death. Okay. And what do we clothe ourselves with? Masks. Like Matthew was talking about actors, right? Actors. Okay.
One of the characteristics of this formlessness too is to be covert. That's part of it too. Like someone who has standards cannot contradict himself. It's one of the rules, basic rules of having a form and a standard. You don't contradict yourself. Otherwise, you're breaking yourself basically, and you're not trustable anymore, and people don't know what you are anymore. So you break your own laws, let's say, which is what contradicting yourself means basically. And so someone who wants to be a snake needs to be covert, because covertness gives you more powers of formlessness. Because if you're covert, you can contradict yourself now, because nobody knows ultimately who you are. So it's like you have different masks. You wear a mask, you say one thing, then you wear another mask, you say the opposite. You can contradict yourself, but nobody knows because you always have the mask on, right? They don't know the face behind it. So there's like different powers that come from being covert, really. So, for example, an actor is someone who's dealing in formlessness. It's like he chose that as a career. The power of formlessness is given to him in his role of actor, and now for him, it's good to lie. But it's not. We don't consider it bad, see, because we accepted this idea.
Okay, and now you've got. Now think about Alan Watts, all right, talking about Leela and the actor, the divine actor, right? How everyone is God playing these parts. It's like the dream of life, and we kind of forget our ultimate identity, like
Jesus. So Jesus
woke up and remembered his true identity with the Father, or something like that, right? Something like that. I'm gonna wait for the lawnmower again. Okay, and the transfiguration of the garments is the same as this redemption of formlessness or something like that. Okay, I'm going to pause this to talk with my friend, and then I will be back. It's a bit of an unhinged ramble, but we're stick it out. Stick with me here. There is a very important point being made here. All right. Okay, I'm back from my talk with my friend, and I smoked a little bit. Perhaps you will notice a difference in my eurythmy.
A medicine. It should be a medicine. Maybe once was, not the ones that they engineered. You see, again, we're into the engineering now of these influences. That's why it's like the ring. It's art. It's become an art. It's like the art of controlling these powers. But if you ask me, psychedelics is an example of something that could be a medicine, let's say, and it is, okay. And so if it's used as a medicine, maybe that's fine. But I could see that it's a doorway to something else. It's not being used as a medicine. Sometimes it is, but it's also not being used as medicine. And it's being used as a doorway for these influences to bring us in them. It's like the ring. Again, it's like you put on the ring. It's a trick. So if I see it being used as medicine, maybe I think it's fine. But if I see it being used for the other thing. And what is the other thing? The other thing is transformation. It's about transformation, but not necessarily into something good. You see, that's the thing. What are we transforming in exactly? We don't know, because it's not really, the purpose is not really to tell us what we're transforming in. You see, it's like the transhumanists. We're transhumanists, but why don't you tell me what you want to transform us in so I can agree or not? They never will. Because it's not about transforming into something else. It's about becoming formlessness, which is not the same. And even if it wasn't about transforming into something else, I'd still say no. I'd reject. Because God made us human. Christianity is the enemy of transhumanism. Christianity is about man that is perfected. And transhumanism is about we're perfecting ourselves by transformation into not man. See, they're opposites. So I think this is where it's headed now, where it's going to be a conflict. This is going to be a conflict of ideas at first, but probably it's going to probably be more than that. But there's going to be a conflict between these two worldviews. It's huge thing coming up. I mean, some people follow that Christian worldview. Even if some people are not even see themselves as Christian, they still have the Christian worldview. It's not about transforming yourself into something else. It's about perfecting your form. So, Jesus, death, resurrection, that's what it's about. It's not about transforming into something else. Whatever, we don't know. We'll never know, by the way. Something that ascends into something else. He transforms into some kind of angel or something, some kind of a super intelligence. That's not the Christian path either. Death and resurrection gives you a perfected form. You're not in the same form, but you are. And by the way, I mean, this is important. If you transform into something else, you've lost your innocence, because you used to be just what you are. And this perspective was important to you because you were that. It's very simple. That's what innocence is. That's what simplicity is. You are what you are. If you transform once into something else, you've lost your innocence and you'll never get it back, because now your form is arbitrary now. Let's say you transform into something like, I don't know, a butterfly or whatever. You transform into something else. Now your form is arbitrary because you've decided it yourself. It's the definition of arbitrary. And so now you've lost your form forever, because how could you get it back? How you get your innocence back now once you have been the decider of your own form? It's about formlessness. It's all about formlessness. So once you change yourself into something arbitrarily, now your form is arbitrary. You've lost it. You're a snake now. You're in disguise now. And now you're stuck. It's a trap. I tell you, it's a big trap. Now everything you do is a disguise. Everything you do is like a deception that you're doing, a temporary thing that you're doing. So if you transform once, now you're like in a disguise. For now, I'm this form. It's arbitrary. I'm in a disguise. I'll transform something else eventually. And so, what are you doing? You're in a disguise. You're in formlessness. That's what it is. It's the realm of the snake and formlessness.
Okay. The very important point. The very important point. I have a very important point to make, y'all. You best listen up. Okay. Okay, so I don't know. Hopefully, I feel like right. I'm going to pause this. Much love to y'all. Okay, so the point is that to be who you are is an art, in a way, right? The art of being yourself, and how this is about incarnation, right? How do we incarnate? Hello. How do we incarnate our meaning, etc., our spirit into the body, right? And the body is the formlessness into which the form, there's a uniting generativity. Okay, so then you have the subtle bodies, the Steiner with the subtle bodies, and like how I feel like it's just like you have to see what I'm saying. It's not, I don't know. Well, this is like sociology and like the return of being who you are in your body is how do we God, oh my God, it's just being who you are with your body, it's like and that's the formlessness serving form, that's my subtle bodies, like my physical body, let's say, the things that I do with my physical body, they should, when I'm being who I am, they become windows to the real me, like the transfiguration, right? And it's also the same pattern as the New Jerusalem, with it's the Christ and it's the Lamb slain in the middle, and that's your heart. Your heart shines through your eyes and your body language. in the way you say the words. And okay, Steiner referred to this as the Grail language. Basically, that's this thing about that Steiner was talking about with the gestural aspect of speech is, I think, more significant than he thought about it. And like, if you ask the anthroposophists, they'll say about how it comes in the next phase of human evolution. Like right now, it's not about eurythmy yet, but I think eurythmy is like the whole thing. It's all eurythmy. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you can see what I'm pointing at here. I'll add some playlists. Playlists. Okay. So it's about putting the formlessness, which is my subtle bodies. These are nested layers. Like the physical body is the most formlessness. I'll throw in a clip here to justify this claim. Okay, the physical body is like a formlessness. Boom.
Matter and materiality. Materiality for the ancients was formlessness. It was understood as this kind of formless, undifferentiated, continuous clay, as it were, that the world was molded out of. So you have matter, which is formlessness, and then you have the world of psyche or form, which then kind of reaches down and shapes the world into different entities, bodies, processes, and so forth. When scientists use the word physical today, they tend to mean dead, inert, solid objects that bounce around and bump into one another and whatnot. And the Greeks really didn't have a term for that because the Greeks did not consider solid bodies to be ontologically primary in the way that science came to, at least during the 18th and 19th centuries. But that notion of materiality as formlessness is really crucial here because it indicates a world in which the causation is not simply bottom up, it can also be top down, as it were. Animacy, aliveness, psyche is able to actually shape the world, shape bodies, and shape the way that those bodies move around and interact with one another. And it's actually only in specific circumstances that you have solid, inert, dead objects that behave in this perfectly predictable, mathematically quantifiable sort of way that physics has taken to be the golden standard of bodily existence in general. If we reanimate the world, or rather reanimate the world as we conceive it, then we can begin to understand the world in a very different way, a way in which we can actually look to our own baseline empirical experience of being in the world and start to see that the world beyond us operates in a very similar manner, that the volition that we experience in moving our own bodies around is actually out there, not just in other plants and animals, but in the world in general, that we live in an animate universe.
Okay, and then the etheric body is like slightly less formless, and then the astral body is almost more form than it is formless. It exists more in the psychical, perhaps, or maybe it's like once you go through the hourglass structure, then you get the I think it would be the spirit self, or what is it? The the transformed / redeemed astral body, which is the astral body which has been set in context to, okay, hope you're following here. Ready? That's
You're transforming your astral body into one that's purified.
Paraphrasing Steiner, he basically said that Buddha had the greatest thoughts of all times, and we should listen to him. And what did he teach? He taught how to overcome the astral body. Did he teach how to overcome and redeem the etheric body or the physical body? No, he did not.
So if you tame your astral body, you're taming the dragon of Lucifer. And that's the reason Lucifer, Satan, sometimes referred to as a dragon. When you're looking at your astral body, what is that? That's your Luciferic pride and desires. And once you get over those, and you're no longer just selfish, but you can be selfless, then you can start to have higher thinking. But it won't be for you. It'll be for the sake of all other sentient beings. And so the astral body, yes, right now, and this is a very, very complicated element of anthroposophy. To begin with,
we have the formlessness has to be set in context to form. The subtle bodies, the actions of the subtle bodies should be with reference to my heart or something like that. And then also the form should be set in context. It is contextualized by the formlessness. If you only had form, the monad, like the form of forms, God the Father, there would be nothing, because there needs to be incarnation, and this is how God creates the world through speech. It is the word of God. And what is that like phenomenologically? It's like, how do you be yourself? It's an action, but it's also a non-action, right? It's the Tao. But there is still an active component, which is like the emphasizing. There's an emphasis. You do this musical emphasis thing. Hello. It's this action that you do with another also, where it's an action oriented towards the Christ in them, or towards this awakened. It's to see through the actor, through the mask to the actor. Then the broader point is that when we do the digital interactions, the words I'm saying are taken out of context, which is my bodies, and also the bodies are no longer the actions are no longer with reference to my heart, direct eye contact. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, part of this is our disposition and like how we relate with it.
How can I say this? It's like, if there's recognition between you and that,
Direct eye contact.
if there's memory and recognition, then the steps are steps. Then all these forms, all of these things that manifest become steps. But if you are seduced by the hair itself, if the hair becomes an obstacle, the hair can become an obstacle of you seeing what is behind, if you're not properly oriented.
It's like, part of this is our disposition and like how we relate with it. But the fact that there's no direct eye contact, the actions are no longer with reference to my heart or something like that. The actor, the Christ in them, or something like that. Okay, so hopefully you're following this constellation of ideas and how you see that it grounds out in our phenomenological experience of conversating with others, and even conversating with just reality at large, insofar as our participation in reality is, or our contribution to the conversation of God or something like that. And then also online and stuff like that, how all this stuff is very relevant to our times in terms of the black cube and the ring of power, which is this internet communication where I can present myself how I wish to present myself in a way, because it's like exile, it's like what my spirit is removed from my body, which is my broader context and stuff. And so yes, I hope you find this interesting, and I encourage you to check out the playlists. the playlists. You see, I can do a thing in a way that emphasizes. It points your attention through the mask to the actor. It's like when you do the artfulness aspect, that is what transforms. That's when you're entering like an etheric consciousness or something like that, where you are manifesting the etheric. Okay, so that is all. That's what I have to say. You know, maybe I'll stop raving about this now. It's been 10 years, you know? It seems like I found other people talking about it, so that's good. Okay, thanks for watching, y'all. May your eurythmy be splendorous.